Hey people, Infantry 3v3, capturing Purification Plant, blue team. Whole bunch of Eldar, including 2 Warlocks. First up is RedRe Venge, the other Warlock being Rambo. These guys are melee spellcasters that leap into combat with some powerful disruption and support. Alongside, and rounding off this blue team, is Noisy's Warp Spider Exarch, a teleporting hero. There he goes, fighting in ranged combat by default, great for capping and harassing with some powerful control abilities. Going toe-to-toe there with Cry Hard's Ravener Alpha on the red team. A tunneling hero with great mobility, powerful offense and a bit of support. Begins with a ranged weapon. Warp Spider is persuaded to back off there. Alongside is YZ's Plague Champion. Starting off in ranged combat with a damage of a time bolt gun. Can get melee weapons with some strong utility and support. The World Eaters over here. The elite scheme, I believe. And riding off the red team is Bebop on the west side with an Inquisitor. Offensive hero with powerful control abilities, begins in melee but can get specialized ranged weapons. What have we got going on then? Banshees all round for the Eldar. Sentinel, as you saw from Bebop. We got some Chaos Space Marines into Heretics for YZ, and Cry with Termagant Spore Mines into some more Termagants on the east side. Looks like it's clear there because the other Warlock's gone mid. Let's have a look at this west side though. Warlock is going to struggle to get in here because of Hammer of the Witches from the Inquisitor. Looks like he's going to give it a go. I don't think he's actually going to get into combat unless he leaps. Nope. Hammer of the Witches. There's the leap as he was stunned and then gets shot off. Here come Howling Banshees. Taking a lot of damage though from the lasgun fire. And are having to retreat out. More Banshees coming through onto the Chaos. Double Heretics there to Doom Blast. There's a War Shout though. Another Doom Blast. And probably, yeah, a big old retreat from YZ's Heretics. The Chaos Space Marines and the Plague Champion himself, though, still in play. Good little push there from Bebop to get the rest of... Is it Rambo? Yeah, Rambo stuff off the field. Warp Spider used some heavy cover there. Trying to dip in and probe with the Dire Vendors, but they ran into CSM and a Plague Champion in heavy cover. So Noisy just backs off. Red team most likely then going to take the west side. Banshees of Noisy have found a tunnel. Take it out with some red and some XP there. Whoa, lots of dead Termagants. That looks like they did all get away. Yeah, they're all still there. Hormagaunts are in retreat. Banshees, though, on the prowl looking for Termagants. They have the aspect of fleetness. Chop, 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 chop on retreat there. Retreating units taking 30% more damage from melee attacks, which is why you can set up some very nasty flanks with Howling Banshees given their speed, and their power melee damage already does bonus to heavy infantry. And when you're on retreat, they can slice you up pretty damn good. Do you have a stomp, Mr. Sentinel? You don't. Most likely we are going to see it though. Bebop going for spotters immediately to help combat the Guardian weapon team here. With their Shuriken Cannon, a suppression weapon. Has its limited firing arc, as you can see. Also needs to set up before it can fire. But potentially huge amounts of damage at close range, and it suppresses stuff. East side. Plague Champion's very low from YZ. There's some Noble Worship. Providing health regen to all of YZ's units in range. Gonna eat a grenade though. Those guys are forced to retreat. Almost hit them even though they were retreating out there. Double Shurikens from RedRe Venge. Another Shuriken also from Noisy this time. So there's 4 of them on the field. We've got Havocs from YZ, Ravener Brood from Cry Hard. I can't select them, they must be in a tunnel somewhere. There they are. These guys can burrow strike, so they are a potential counter to the Guardian weapon teams. Well, they are a counter, but they might get counter-initiated by grenades and Banshees and stuff, so it could be dicey for them to go in there. Grenade launcher barrage will knock those fellas over. Can they push alongside that? Hormagaunts are having a go, but they eat a big destructor from RedRe Venge there. That was quite brutal. There's the burrow strike into some more Shuriken though, but they're not being actually targeted at the moment. Could have maybe gone into melee, but the Banshees would have been on them. In fact, they are on them with a War Shout. Crippling Poison, slowing the Banshees down. Warlock jumping in. A Doom Blast is suppressing there. Plague Champion is still in play. Might want to get back a bit so he's behind cover. Cover is direction in this game. You can't just stand beside it and pray that it works. You need to actually put it between yourself and the enemy. 500 to 457. Do the other heretics have an aspiring champion? They do, so they're more melee focused, those guys, in retreat right now. The aspiring champion is a Chaos Marine, gives the other fellas more health, which in turn makes their Doom Blast do more damage since that scales off health. Sentinel getting some repairs. Still no stomp on this guy. Noise Marine's up for YZ. I imagine the Eldar are going to ride this to tier 2. Wraithguard on the west side perhaps. Noise Marine's doing their thing with their Sonic Blaster. Disables ranged attacks, does some good damage, and very good at taking out enemy generators. And look at this. Eldar have built up completely this contested power on the eastern edge. There's that Nurgle worship. It's very narrow here, which is making it easier for the Eldar to control this with double shurikens in play. And the other one from RedRe Venge is where? Oh, it's over there. They're all over it. But if it wasn't, it could quickly get back with the webway. Gonna try and go around is crying out. Tier 2 for Bebop. Rambo was the first player to go there. There's tier 2 for Cry Hard. I was expecting double Ravenous actually, but you're going to see a bit of a quicker tier 2 there. Typically, Tyranids have quite heavy tier 1s. CSM with only a single model running off. West side. Still no ground pound from the Sentinel. There's the Immolator Blade from the Warlock of Rambo. Just sets the ground on fire, which is bad news for Guardsmen. Artillery Spot is having to flee. Destructor flies in too. Can do some really nasty things with the Destructor and Immolator mix, especially if you can suppress something inside of it. It basically has to retreat at that point. They can't stand in the fire and get destructed. Howling Banshees with the aspect of strength for RedRe Venge. Noisies with fleetness and no mark for Rambo. In fact, just dropped their shuriken. It must have been... Oh, look at this. We've got Catalyst up on the Hormagaunts of Cry Hard. Global ability of the Ravenous Alpha doubles their damage for the duration, but they do lose health. Looks like they just used it to eat some poor Dire Avenger fellas looking after a shuriken cannon there. Are they going to replace it? Nope. Straight into Wraithguard for Rambo. Banshee's getting crippled by the Termagants. And again. Such a good ability. The Capillary Tower goes up, will provide a little speed boost, also some defensive bonuses for these guys. Warlock went down there. Should get revived from that location though. 431 to 439, very even on the VPs. We do see the Guardian Weapon team replaced by Rambo. And I said that's a good shout. Falcon on the way for Noisy. Still pinned back on their power here. I mean, it wouldn't be so bad, but they are conceding this eastern power completely. It might be a little bit overkill on the power there. 3 full gens is not typically what you need, but they're certainly not going to be short of it. But they haven't really been able to push on that red power either. YZ's biding his time. The experienced player there, know that he doesn't have to do anything desperate to break out. As long as he keeps his power safe. Crippling Poison and some melee for those Banshees. They've really struggled to get in most of the time, the Howling Banshees. Hormagaunts with adrenal glands are a big threat to tier 1 units. Here's the Falcon though. Good weaponry on this thing, also allows it to reinforce and transport allied infantry around. It was shooting at the barrel there, I think. I'm not sure what that was. The Termagants, I mean. Any war gear for this Ravenous Alpha? Yes, we see the Synapse Aura for damage. West side is red. Here's the Wraithguard though. They already have their Spirit Seer Warlock, which allows them to move faster and see further. You can tell they have the effect of that blue swirly stuff. Those Wraith Cannons devastatingly painful for pretty much everything. Ogryns though can exploit their weakness of melee maybe, and they have been infiltrated by Interrogator's armor. Very, very sneaky Ogryns. There's nothing here to spot them. They're going after the Shuriken, I think. Inquisitor's going to go down. Just took their eyes off her as the Ogryns were heading in. They are eating Wraithguard shots. The Banshees are there too. There's Use Your Red to knock things down. Thanks to the Bonehead leader, but they are going to get chopped up on retreat. They were a little bit isolated there. Needed to follow them up a little bit sooner, I think. But yeah, Wraithguard can turn and do that. Howling Banshees with the Distort field on them from the Warlock's Global Bar, giving him some ranged damage resistance, and the aspect of strength, giving the Exarch that fancy spear there. East side, kicking off. Walks better Exarch, takes out the Havocs there with his power blades. This guy can have a heavy melee weapon and teleport around and really mess you up with him. Where's he gone to? He's gone inside a tunnel or a webway or something. A webway, I guess. Not a tunnel. Noise Marines, go on. Look at that. That is some good damage. Back in retail, I used to love getting double Noise Marines up when each of them had a sonic blaster back then. It was very loud and lots of damage that people didn't expect. 355 to 427 on the VPs. Pushed up pretty far here is Cry. Again, deals with the Banshees quite easily thanks to the Crippling Volley. Sorry, Crippling Poison. Crippling Volley is the Inquisitor thing. 2 spotters on the field for Bebop. Don't see that very often. Got a Venom Brood up with the ranged Synapse, providing buffs for the Termagants and the Ravener Brood. Meanwhile, west side is turning red. They have pushed back the Eldar. Ogryns are being suppressed, and here come Banshees. Ogryns are super heavy infantry, so they're pretty resistant to small arms fire, but when you get power melee on them, they can take lots of damage, especially in retreat like that. Formagaunt's getting in on the Banshees, though, doing a really good job. More Banshees for that, though. Grenade goes in, it's a good grenade. Seem to tank it pretty well, though. Can they chuck another one? They can. Going for the Termagant specifically that time, and it was kind of dodged. One of them fell over, but he's alright. Rangers on the field now to help spot the Ogryns when they get infiltrated by Interrogator's armor. And we're seeing a Sentinel missile launcher too. Oh, Crippling Volley, there it is. Oh, but she's got her Inferno pistol. She must have switched to it, I guess. 355 to 410. Tier 3 for YZ, Tier 3 for RedRe Venge already. Was this on the east side? Who's dead? Someone's dead. Oh, it's the Warp Spider. So it's going to be Cry, Bebop, and Rambo still in Tier 2. Got some level 2 Noise Marines there. A little bit of a lull in the action. And they want to grab the west side, though. Got a dead Ogryn, but they did get away over there. Yeah, that missile launcher can be super painful. If all 3 of those frag missiles hit, they're using the cover there of the energy shield. It's the Warlock of RedRe Venge all the way over here, trying to grab that VP with the Witchblade of Kernus. Ogryns don't want to fight this fella now, really. Also, the Warp Throat needs a bit of support here. Does Bebop. Not sure where YZ's units are. They got Plague Marines up. They're coming towards the west side, it seems. Are they maybe going to push mid? Kind of hard with the Eldar milling around here. Shuriken gets set up. Might want to turn a little bit. That's a good Destructor on those CSM there. Beautifully hit when they were all bunched up for a second. Plague Marine missile struggling to hit infantry, but they can tank pretty well with some Nurgle worship behind them. Huge amounts of health and health regen on these fellas. Back in office, Noisy and RedRe Venge. These are Noisy's Banshees. Trying to not just eat the Crippling Poison again. Falcon getting some shots in. We do have the double Raveners from Cry Hard, and they are outputting huge amounts of damage thanks to the Synapse Aura and the ranged Synapse. 1-to-1 cap here. Cry Hard isn't done yet. Here comes some support from YZ. Aspiring Champion up on the CSM so they can use their Slaughter. Warp Throw. Gets the Ravener Alpha into trouble, gets him down. And he's a big force multiplier for his army at the moment with the Synapse Aura. So that's a big deal. And I don't think he can get revived from there very easily. Which is going to slow down his plans for Tier 3 if he wants to revive him. Fire Prisms all around for the Eldar players. Cry is forced to retreat. It can now take out these towers. I don't think YZ can do a huge amount. That's a good shot, though, on the rear armor of the Falcon. Plague Marines getting some good work done there. Noise Marines with some sonic blasting, and then the cacophony to knock down the Banshees. But they're still gonna... They still could have got in there, maybe. So they had to retreat. West side still uncapped. Wraithguard ready to blow to smithereens something that tries to cap. Inquisitor's still level 1, and we've lost the indicator for her. Yeah, Raven Alpha I think is going to need to get repurchased. Warlock taking tons of damage. Ducks inside of the Falcon. Here comes the Fire Prism though from RedRe Venge. Where is Noisy's Fire Prism? Looks like it's going towards the west side. Plague Marines are getting shots in. Banshees on them though. See those red debuff circles on the Banshees? That's because they're just close to the Plague Marines. It slows you down when you get close to them. And they do explode on death too. So generally, you don't want to get into melee with them. But you know, tough tier 3 melee squads can go at it without too much worry from them being exploded on. 355 to 410. Can the Eldar get onto this power? I don't think they've been able to do it. It has taken a bit of damage here, so maybe they did at some point. Gonna have a Mark of Nurgle Predator tank. Double the Fire Prisms now on the west side should facilitate a cap, you would think. They're not trying to do it though. Prism is game winner, son, says Noisy. D-Cannon now for Rambo. Eldar have done really well. Just as I said that, the Fire Prism's taken out by some sneaky Stormtroopers. I was going to say, Eldar have done well to not lose a bunch of units and get into this tier 3 position with Fire Prisms and D-Cannons and stuff. But two of the D-Cannons, two of the Fire Prisms, sorry, are now gone. What happened to the other one? Oh, there it is. Got chased by a Venom Brood, it seems like. Yeah, those things are quite fragile. Need to be so careful with them. Plague Champion with the Armor of Pestilence is even slower now, but has a bunch more health. West side, it's blue. Ogren's having a go. I thought they were going to eat a grenade there, but they didn't. Can those guys get a volley off? They can't. The Wraith Cannons of these fellas do suppress infantry, so if they could get a volley, they could have stayed safe from the Ogres, but they couldn't get it done. D-Cannon getting those shots in, doing damage over time these days. And of course the awesome Singularity. Sentinel got a decap, but it can't cap the point. Ogres are going to do it. And we have Blastmaster Noise Marines from YZ. Where's the tank? It is in the middle. It's a decent map for tanks. Decent amount of space in the mid and on the west side. Just kind of stay away from the east edge, I say. Warp throw into grenades. They couldn't quite hit flush, but the Witchblade of Kurnis Ethereal Slash did some work, even though he was knocked over there. But yeah, he's got some tools to use against that Tyranid ranged blob now. Being a little bit more patient with the Banshees. Shimmer Orb goes up, which is a weird thing to do. I'm not sure what that was about. I think he wanted to put Shimmer Orb up and then go after the tank in melee. I think that was the plan there, but that is a Nurgle tank, so it has melee resistance as well as tons of health and some health regen. So Power Blades are going to need to get a lot of attacks in. Wraithguard taking chunks of damage from the Noise Marines, but not being knocked over by it. 331 to 386. D-Cannon, oh, it tried to hit the Stormtroopers. Stormtroopers was being sneaky again. What are they going to go for? There's no vehicles on this side. We do have a D-Cannon from Noisy now, more in the middle. And some late rangers from RedRe Venge to help spot things that tried to be sneaky. And also the long range disruption is pretty useful for stopping caps and stuff. Bright Lance getting shots on the Chaos Predator, but there's some Nurgle worship here, and now repairs from the Plague Champion has gone Plague Fist and Icon of Nurgle. So constant damage around the Plague Champion. It's only piercing, so don't get too excited, but it's fun. It's nice to have just an accessory you don't need to micromanage. It's just there doing stuff all the time. 314 to 386. Doesn't put any extra energy pressure on the Plague Champion to use, that kind of thing. Swarm Lord is up for Cry. I assume it's on the way to the west side here. Yes, it is. See it on the minimap there, that big white triangle I've highlighted for you. Grenade. Surely a Singularity, there it is. think they're far enough away. Oh, some termagants weren't, and they were turned into little bits of termagants. Singularity does not mess around. Falcon has a shield up. I mean, they are putting some pressure on this tank, but this is so tough. And repairs and noble worship. Something, meanwhile, Banshees are bashing power on the eastern side. Here comes a Swarm Lord. Super unit for Tyranids allows it to reinforce off it and provides a speed synapse, which is a big deal, especially when it comes to Carnifexes. I mean, speeding those guys up is pretty scary, but in its own right, very scary melee combatant. They're using the Leech Essence to drain life off nearby enemies. Pretty effective at keeping it alive, as you can see. And if we're lucky, we might see a big old blade flurry go off, which is very fun. There's a Tyranids formation. Whoa, nicely timed. Took out the, I guess, yeah, some kind of guardian weapon team there was taken out. I'm not sure what weapon it had. I think it was a shuriken. Oh, down goes another fire prism. It was Rambo's, right? Yes. What was it taken out by? The Sentinel? Maybe the Inquisitor too, with her Inferno pistol. Now she's getting the Purgatus. It's very cool. 298 to 386 on the VPs. 1-to-1 cap now. They've just completely stolen this power, these Banshees. Well done, ladies. Level 3 now. Didn't node it though. Did not node it. Here comes a Baneblade for Bebop. You know, a Baneblade and a Chaos Pred and a Nurgle Shrine on the west side. Not to mention Blastmaster Noise Marines. The Sentinel's doing well as well. And Ogrins to help butt heads with anything that gets close. Falcon level 2 with the shield up is a pretty damn tough vehicle actually. There's the Nurgle Shrine doing its thing. Periodically healing. I think it's a 7% heal. Which is pretty good. And if you worship it like this, you get heals more often and you can reinforce off it. Not to mention, they'll suppress enemy infantry that get close. It's a really good shrine, I think. Down goes that Warlock. 278 to 386. Shimmer Orb is up for Noisy to try and get this cap here. Still been October though, and doesn't protect him from melee. Like a Plague Fist, for example. There's a... is that a Singularity, I think? Yeah. Killed one guardsman. But they are reinforcing 2 at a time. These guys aren't. These are 6-man guardsman squad. Just there to repair, I think. 260 to 386. There's your Baneblade. And here comes a swarm of Tyranids. Can the Eldar stand against this? All of a sudden, a hell of a lot of stuff on this western side. They might need to go mid and push there. That's Judgment up on that D cannon, but it's going to be out of play, so it can't be judged. Tyranids are on the rampage, right into an Eldritch Storm though. And they were knocked over by the Fire Prism at the perfect time. Look at that for a nuke. Beautifully done. Try hard at a bad time. The Swarm Lord is just stunned. Can't move after the Eldritch. There we go, now he's alright. It's a very good nuke. I'm not sure who that was. Maybe Rambo from the look of the red. Awesome Eldritch though. Swarm Lord is draining life again. 242 to 386 on the VPs. Plague Champion's going to revive the Inquisitor there. That's quite a bit of heresy there, Miss Inquisitor, level 4 Plague Champion. Eldar vehicles ploughing forward. I don't think that was the best idea, fellas. Baneblade there, bristling with guns. He's got some las cannons. He's got a big old mega battle cannon, also the Demolisher cannon, not to mention some twin linked heavy bolters that can actually suppress you. It's a big old thing full of guns. Can it survive Eldar though? They've got Eldritches, they've got Wraithguard, D cannons, Fire Prisms. Got some Chaos Terminators now for YZ. Cry responds with a Carnifex, outfitted with a Venom cannon. Again though, look at that, Banshees taking that power. Well played, RedRe Venge, level 4 Banshees there too. And something got the VP. I assume it was the Warp Spider? I don't know though, he's super far back, so maybe not. Not sure what it was. Maybe those fellas? Those dire Avengers there. Chaos Terminators are capping the west side, and they can't be knocked over by their fire prism. So I think they're just going to tough it out and get this done here. Some repairs for the Bane Blade. And this is a repair bunker here. Banshees going after the Chaos Predator. Taking a lot of damage though. They're going to go down. I think they were just thrown away by Noisy there. Another Eldritch. Takes out the Shrine. Almost takes out the Sentinel. How often do you see an Eldritch Storm hit a Sentinel? Well, not very often. Sentinels don't typically last this long. Didn't hit the Baneblade though, I don't think. It has taken a bunch of damage though. But yeah, I think Noisy was throwing those Banshees away to get some population back. Got double D cannons, there's a Singularity. And another. Terminator's teleported away just in time, but some stuff got turned into mush. Oh dear. Rangers, bless them, going for the decap and got blowed up quite a lot. We do have a heavy bolter turret on the VP from YZ to help look after that. Some full rosters here aside from Cry, who's got a Lictor on the way. See a Council up from Rambo. Power melee Warlocks that jump on you and smash you up. Also provide a nice ranged damage resistance aura that they themselves benefit from. 15% I believe. Combine them with an Avatar which gives suppression immunity, and also with an Autarch which gives extra defensive bonuses. You can have a really nasty little melee force running around. Ogrins are persuaded to flee. Looks like Rangers get the decap under infiltration there. And then are blown up. Pretty emphatically. 187 to 318. Shimmer Orb goes up. Looks like it won't take any range damage for the duration. Got to get in there and smack him in melee or knock him over or something. Here we go. Oh, was he knocked over by his own fire prison there? Looked like it. Couldn't quite get the cap done. Doesn't seem like anyone's particular... Oh, down goes the fire prism. Did the Lictor get it? I think the Lictor got it. Snuck in there and got it. Maybe with the Carnifex getting a shot too. RedRe Venge has plenty of resources though. Here comes an Avatar of Cain on the way from Noisy. Plague Champion. Plague Fist is a great capping tool. Doesn't need to use it here though. There's a Singularity. Gets the cap in time. Gartus to stun those Seer Council. Plague Champion gets dragged around, but he's not bothered too much. 181 to 318. It'd actually be better off if they try to spread out those Singularities a bit in terms of time. That don't do them at the same time because they can't be dragged both ways. Which means they'll only be hit by one of the Singularities in terms of damage, I think. It does the damage when it pulls you in. They can do them, you know, 20 seconds apart or something. Plague Champion goes for the cap again. Nope, they already have it. It was those guys decapping. 162 to 318. Another Fire Prism falls. The Lictor again, I think, getting it done. This guy's been awesome. He's almost got a full level already. He gets in there, messes up their pathing, and I think the anti-vehicle stuff's able to get in there and finish off the Fire Prisms. Should they push to mid? It's so tough. Because you don't want to be aggressive and then lose your army. Delicate balance. Lictor backs away there. That guy can infiltrate indefinitely. Does not lose energy while infiltrating. More Shimmer Orb. But that's a Plague Fist on you. That's a Singularity. Gonna hit those Terminators. And some Guardsmen too. Everything's reinforcing off the Shrine anyway. And that's a repair bunker. 140 to 318. Another Avatar on the way, this time from RedRe Venge. This is Noisy's one here, fighting the Plague Champion. Down he goes. Gonna get picked up on the Wailing Doom Sword and tossed aside there. There is Providence from the Warlock. I hear an Eldritch, there it is. Going after the Chaos Predator. And gets it done. Predator's down. Another Eldritch. Look at this push from the Eldar. Takes out the bunker. Stuns the Baneblade. Almost took out the Shrine. Can they get the Baneblade? Man, the Eldar nuke is so good. The Shrine goes down. Can they get this Baneblade here? Avatar's going after it. Big rear armor swings. Baneblade can be very vulnerable to powerful tier 3 heavy melee stuff because of how big and how slow it is. It means that, you know, you can get multiple squads surrounding this thing just smacking on it. And look how big that rear armor section is. I don't think it's going to get away. It's taking fire prism shots as well. And Seer Councillor helping out with their power melee weapons. Down it goes. Baneblade is done for. And the red team are left reeling here. Hell of a push from the blue team, those double nukes. Not sure why the Avatar was slowed down there. Maybe, was it the Melter Bomb? Maybe the Melter Bomb. But he gets away. Uh oh, Fire Prism I don't think is going to get away. No, Fire Prism goes down. It's a lot of dead Fire Prisms. They're all gone now, I think. But hey, they have Avatars now. Do you need Fire Prisms when you have Gods of War walking around? Lictor goes for the VP and there's nothing there to stop him. Gonna at least get a decap, you would think. The Avatar there of RedRe Venge might turn around. And he could just blindly do the Wailing Doom on it to stop the cap. If he sees it going down, there's a singularity. Again, they did them a bit too close together. But hey, gets them off the cap. They're not necessarily on voice comms or something to synchronize that up in terms of timing. Venom Cannon Carnifex. Haven't seen a lot of bioplasmas going off. I'm sure they have, and I just missed them. Tyranids formation. It's really a nuke that you've got to follow up. I mean, they all kind of are, but Tyranids formation especially actually gives buffs to Tyranids, those towers. So you want to be close by and munching on things if you can. What kind of resources for the Eldar players? They've really shut down the power this game, haven't they? I don't think they got hit once. I don't think they got hit once. And they had the eastern tower completely populated for quite a while. It's got tons of power now. What's that? Rambo wants an Avatar. 99 to 269. Some stormtroopers infiltrated and are decapping. So they're going to get it done. Well done, fellas. Now run away. Wraithguard pushing up. What level are you? Level 2. Some more Wraithguard, I say. But how can you not get the Avatar if you can afford it? There it is. You're going to have 3 of them now. Leaving their footsteps of fire. Inquisitor levels up, reviving the Ravener Alpha there, who does have the awesome 43 DPS plasma Corrosive Devourer. Can also get vehicle damage with corrosive shots, and Reinforced Chitin is up too. He's immune to knockback, right? Yeah. Slows down units that hit him in melee, and is immune to knockback. Really good armor. Runs off. Got the decap though. They might need something there permanently, because Alictor's going to do that all game. Pestilent Strike stuns the Warp Spider X up, but couldn't quite get the cap done there, the Plague Champion. Maybe she should go for the Mucus Discharge instead, just for that little bit of healing. Might have got the cap with it there. There's a Bioplasma, just saw one, onto the Avatar. Gartus. Did it stun them or not? I think it stunned them. They seem to get the cap done though. Those Eldar fellas. Warlock up to level 5 with Providence, as we saw. Also Warp Throw and the Witchblade of Kurnus. Swapping out the Immolator we had earlier. RedRe Venge also always had the Witchblade, I think, and also has the Warp Throw. Some Avatars just casually strolling into the fight. There's another one already there. And here's another Baneblade from Bebop. Did not see this on the way, but there you have it. My Avatar brothers, says Rambo. Hell of an armor they've got there. The other Carnifex from Cry also has a Venom Cannon. really not seeing a lot of barbed stranglers these days in 3v3s. Lots of venom cannons. The bioplasma. Everyone's realised that the bioplasma is really good. So Wailing Doom. That's a singularity. Just in case anything was thinking of getting close. Oh, was that 2 of them there? I think that was 1. Those are just regular shots going in there. That Carnifex is quite low. No attempt by either team to go for the central VPs. They are committed to this massive meat grinder of a fight on the west side. Look at this now. Awesome stuff. Singularity tosses the Plague Champion aside. The Pestilence Strike is up there, which is now actually benefiting the Warp Spider. That big range damage reduction bonus. Shimmer Orb goes up anyway. Swarmlord taking a bunch of damage. All of a sudden, there's a nuke back there. Imperial Abyss from YZ. Didn't do a huge amount. Took out some RedRe Venge models. Avatar versus Swarmlord. Avatar has super heavy infantry armor. Swarmlord actually has vehicle armor. Another Eldritch this time onto the Baneblade. Was it the best idea really to get another Baneblade? Leman Russ's is probably better, especially against triple Eldar. I think it's going to go down. Yep, down it goes. Poor Baneblade. Always have a rough time. Avatar fought off a Carnifex and the Swarmlord there. Shrine is still up. Well, that's another one, isn't it? I think that's up the 3rd shrine we've seen, actually. 99 to 193. Red team are beaten back here. Bioplasma. Melter bomb. Melter guns. Lots of damage on the Avatar. It has been infiltrated by the Rangers. Another Eldritch onto this 2nd Mark of Nurgle Chaos Predator, and he gets hit a lot. Can they finish it off? The Falcon's having a dig at it. And now it's showing rear armor. Now it's infiltrated as well. I think it's going to know it's not going to be okay. Wailing Doom. Oh, I thought I was going to finish it off, but it survives. 99 to 183. Looks like they are, that's a singularity, they are trying to have a go at this VP here. We see a enhanced muscle coil Ravener Brood, which means they are now a full-on melee unit and can get underground indefinitely like that. But there are things over there looking after the VP. 2 to 1 remains. Can the Eldar hold on here? They've done a fantastic job. Massive armies in play. Shimmer Orb to go after the tank again. So he can't be shot at while he smacks on it, but he's now left the Shimmer Orb. Tank got moving. Chaos Terminator is going to melee with the Warp Spider, who then skips away. Here comes some Heretics though, and he is persuaded to leave. Gonna take down this bunker. I don't think they needed to use the grenades with the Wraith Guard there, but they got some style points for it. That was Aura of Decay from the Plague Champion, sending those City Council fellas flying. Oh, the turret is still over there. City Council level 3. Done well. Plague Champion has to run off himself. Something's on the VP. Oh no, it's not. It's waiting to go onto the VP. But those Banshees aren't budging. You have a Leman Russ from Bebop with the Vanquisher Cannon. Awesome anti-vehicle weapon here. Avatars have been immense. How much resources do they have? Look at this. All of the Eldar players are well over 500 power. Noisy almost at 1,000 power. I don't know if the red team can get through. Ravener Brood got messed up. They got the decap though. Did get the decap, and it's the Lictor trying to get a decap on the west side under infiltration. Can he do it? He can. And then jumps off. Knocking down some friendly guardsmen there. The decannons have been really good as well. They've kept the distance between the decannons and the enemy armies. They've always had something in front of them to block. The Falcon's been absolutely amazing because everything's been reinforcing off it back there. Rocket run, that'll stop a cap. It's a good rocket run. Took out a couple of RedRe Venges, I think. Singularity still going off. Avatar versus 2 Venom Cannon Carnifexes and a Swarm Lord. This Seer Council helping out there. But they're taking big shots from tanks. Single cap for blue. Plague Champion gets the cap, but he did go down doing it. What is this? It's Eldar. Got through onto the other natural. I think that's the first time they've done that. It's a double cap now. Might be a triple for the blue team. 2 Chaos Predators. The tier 3 Elixir gets away at 11. No, he doesn't. Ran into an Avatar and gets that. 94 to 95, double cap for the blue. There's your triple. And that might be it. That might be GG right there. Cry is too depleted to respond now, I think. Going to be very tough to get anything done on the VPs now. Back to a double, but the Warlock's straight on it again. It's a non-upgraded Chaos Predator tank. Maybe they've just given up over there. YZ. Nope, here comes Havocs. Not giving up. Just not getting a mark for that fella. This Falcon's been immense. 150 energy powering this. That's crazy. That's like over 400 more hit points effectively. Because the way the shield converts. Predator backs away. This is like the 5th Fire Prism, I think. A lot of them have gone down. But they didn't capitulate after it. Typically you see Eldar kind of fall apart once their Fire Prisms start to drop. But they had that big infantry base. They didn't over-invest into the Fire Prisms at any one time kind of thing. There's the game. A double cap at the end gets it done. These fellas were worshipping some Tzeentch to get a las cannon, but didn't work out for them. They're level 7 Warlock from RedRe Venge. Level 9 Warp Spider from Noisy. Level 6 Warlock from Rambo. What about the red team? At a level 4 Inquisitor. Did some good stuff with the Purgation here and there. Just the Baneblade purchases, maybe the second one especially was a little bit wrong. Level 6 Plague Champion did some good capping stuff, but I think would have been even better with the Mucus Discharge to help keep things in play. And we had a level 5 Ravener Alpha. Had some fun shooting some stuff, that fella. Awesome game. Really high play from the Eldar. Look at that power here. Well over 1,000 power for Noise at the end. Red team didn't do a good job pressuring the power, did they, at all? I mean, did they get anywhere near it? I don't think they did. Eldar just rode all that economy. Just kept buying stuff. The avatars pretty much were the beginning of the end. Just didn't have the firepower to deal with 3 avatars and everything else. Well played, the Eldar players. Thank you for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you next time.